I am waiting. I have been doing everything I know to do. I have been praying and I have been faithful too. I have been showing up and laying down the work, and still the answer has not come, and still the promise has not turned. And something in the quiet of this morning said something I was not expecting to receive. This is not a failing season. This is not an abandoned season. This is a waiting season, and it is asking something different of me. This is a waiting season, and I have not been here before. This is a waiting season, not the end but a different kind of door. This is a waiting season, and the hardest thing about it is there is nothing I can do to make it end before the time that Jah has chosen to come through. I am not a patient person by my nature. I like to see the fruit of what I plant. I like the progress visible and measurable, and waiting gives me nothing I can count. But the seed beneath the soil is not abandonment. The winter is not the death of what was promised. The silence on the other side of prayer is not the same as empty. This is a waiting season, and I have not been here before. This is a waiting season, not the end but a different kind of door. This is a waiting season, and the hardest thing about it is there is nothing I can do to make it end before the time that Jah has chosen to come through. And so I name it, because naming it is the first honest thing. This is a waiting season, not a lost season, not a broken season, not a season where Jah has forgotten my name. This is a waiting season, and somewhere in the naming, something in me settles into what the season is actually asking. And I will not pretend it feels like gift. I will not dress it in a comfort it does not wear, but I will stand inside the truth of what it is, and trust that Jah knows what is growing there beneath the surface where I cannot see it. In the dark before the seed becomes the plant, this is a waiting season, and I am learning, what that means. Oh, this is a waiting season, and I have not been here before. This is a waiting season, not the end but a different kind of door. This is a waiting season, and I am naming it for what it and cried to Jah, how long must I cry out? And Jah said, write the vision, make it plain. Though it tarry, wait for it, it will not fail. And Joseph in the pit and in the prison carried a dream that took years to come true. The suffering did not cancel the promise. The waiting did not mean the promise was through. The prophet waited too. In the silence and the long between, the prophet waited too. And the promise still came. The prophet waited too. So I'm in the oldest company. The prophet waited too. And I will wait, and I will wait, and I will wait. The enslaved knelt down and prayed for freedom, and some of them died before the answer came. They passed the prayer to children and to children's children, who carried what their parents could not claim. Generation after generation faithful, holding something they could not yet see. And what they waited for arrived eventually, and proved the waiting was not vanity. The prophet waited too. In the silence and the long between, the prophet waited too. And the promise still came. The prophet waited too. So I'm in the oldest company. The prophet waited too. And I will wait, and I will wait, and I will wait. Something forward through the years when nothing visible had changed. Every voice that kept the vision when the vision seemed impossible to maintain. Every generation that believed the promise, even when the promise took another generation. Every prophet who kept standing at the watchtower is standing at the watchtower with me. And so my waiting is not strange or shameful. It is the most ancient practice of the faith, to hold the thing Jah gave you in the silence, and trust the timing to a higher grace. I am standing where the prophets stood before me. I am holding what the ancestors held to. And if they waited and the promise still came true for them, then I can wait, because the prophet waited too. I got up this morning and I prayed again, the same prayer I have been praying for longer than I want to count. And the ceiling gave me nothing back, the way it always does. And I got dressed and faced another day without the thing I am about. I just honest. I am not leaving, I am just tired. And there is a difference between the two that the easy answers have not honored. Still no answer, and I am still here asking. Still no answer, and the asking is not done. Still no answer, and I will not pretend the silence is not costly. Still no answer, but I am not gone. I have read the scriptures about patience. I have heard the sermons about just timing, and I believe them in the deepest part of me. But belief does not make the waiting easier to find, because this is Tuesday, and Tuesday's not a day of revelation. Tuesday is just another day of showing up and trusting what I cannot see on Tuesday mornings. Still no answer, and I am still here asking. Still no answer, and the asking is not done. Still no answer, and I will not pretend the silence is not costly. Still no answer, but I am not gone. And I want to say this to whoever needs to hear it. You are not weak because the waiting has been hard. You are not faithless because the silence has been heavy. You are not forgotten just because the answer tarried long. The honest prayer that names the difficulty is not less faithful than the one that says all is well. Sometimes the truest worship is the showing up again. When showing up again is all you have to give. And so I bring this prayer without the decoration, without the language that makes it sound more fine. Just the honest truth that I am still here waiting, and the waiting has been harder than I thought at the time. And Jah, who sees the Tuesday and the silence, and Jah, who knows the cost of what I carry, receives this prayer not less than any other. Still no answer, but still here. Still no answer, and I am still here asking. Still no answer, and the asking is not done. Still no answer, and I am bringing Jah the honest Tuesday. Still no answer, still here, still asking. Still here. Oh, yeah, yeah. I watched them testify on Sunday morning about the breakthrough that had finally come. And I was genuinely glad for everything they carried, and genuinely wondering, why not me? Why not yet? Why not done? Because I have been faithful, and I know it, and they have been faithful, and I know that too. And faith is not a competition, but the heart does not always know the things the mind knows to be true. Watching others receive what I am still waiting for. Watching others receive and feeling two things at once. Watching others receive, I am glad for them. I am honestly glad. Watching others receive, but Jah, do you still see me? Do you still see me? Do you still see me? And I will not confess to simple jealousy, because that is not the whole truth of the thing. What I feel is more like standing at a window, watching a feast from somewhere in between. Not outside wanting it, not inside celebrating, but this strange in-between place where gladness and grief are sitting at the same table, eating the same meal. Watching others receive what I am still waiting for. Watching others receive and feeling two things at once. Watching others receive, I am glad for them. I am honestly glad. Watching others receive, but Jah, do you still see me? Do you still see me? Do you still see me? And the honest answer is yes, but yes does not always feel like yes, when the evidence of yes is happening somewhere else. And the question is not really why them, the question underneath the question is always the same. Jah, am I still in the plan? Am I still remembered? Is the promise still my name? And I bring this to Jah without the cleaner version, the version that sounds more composed and less afraid. I bring the window and the feast and the in-between, and the question underneath that I have not yet named. Because the God who made the prophets wait in silence and still fulfill the vision in the end is the same God who sees me at this window and knows what I am holding, and still calls me friend. Watching others receive what I am still waiting for. Watching others receive and bringing Jah the truth of what that costs. Watching others receive and trusting that the seeing is still happening for me. Watching others receive, and I am still in the plan. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. My grandmother prayed for justice in the morning and went to sleep at night without the answer coming. And she rose again and prayed the same prayer over, and left it for my mother to keep running. My mother kept the prayer and passed it to me. Oh across the generations for the day. A people still waiting, and the waiting has not made the promise fade. A people still waiting, not because we chose to stay in chains. A people still waiting, because the promise is still our name. Is still our name. They told us patience like we had a choice in it, as if the waiting was a virtue we selected. But patience, when the powerful make you wait for justice, is not the same as patience freely elected. And yet across the centuries something held, not because the system ever made it easy, but because of people who have carried this long know something about waiting that others cannot see it. A people still waiting across the generations for the day. A people still waiting, and the waiting has not made the promise fade. A people still waiting, not because we chose to stay in chains. A people still waiting, because the promise is still our name. It's still our name. Through conditions I cannot fully comprehend, who woke up every morning in the impossible and chose to believe the promise had no end. That kind of waiting is not weakness. Kind of waiting is the strongest thing alive. A people who keep believing past the evidence are a people who cannot be destroyed. It's inside. Farmer does not stand above the field and demand that the seed produce itself today. The farmer knows there is a time beneath the surface when the work is invisible and happening anyway. But the farmer does not walk away and leave it. The farmer tends the soil while the seed becomes. The farmer pulls the weeds and waters faithfully, active in the waiting for the harvest to come. Active waiting, not the sitting down and doing nothing kind. Active waiting, not forcing what has its own appointed time. Active waiting, doing the next faithful thing available. Oh, active waiting, tending what was planted, tending what was planted, while the harvest forms. And so I will not spend this season idle. I will not waste the waiting in complaint, but I will do the next thing that is given and trust the outcome to a higher weight, because something is happening beneath the surface that my impatience cannot speed along, and something is being formed inside the waiting that the arrival of the answer could not form on its own. Active waiting, not the sitting down and doing nothing kind. while the harvest forms. I will pray and I will serve, I will love and I will give. I will keep the vision written on the watchtower. I will keep on doing what it means to live faithfully inside the waiting, not pretending that the answer is already here, not pretending that the waiting is not costly, but refusing to let the waiting be my only atmosphere. Because the waiting season is a season, and every season has its own specific work. And the work of this season is the tending, not the harvesting, not the planting, the faithful daily tending of what Jah put in the earth. And the tending is not small, and the tending is not nothing. The tending is the most courageous act of every waiting person who has ever held a thing longer than they thought they could, and kept on tending anyway. Active waiting, not just sitting down and doing nothing kind. Active waiting, the most faithful act available today. Active waiting, I will tend what Jah has planted. Oh, active waiting, I will wait, I will work, I will tend, I will wait, I will tend. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, 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 ay. I have been thinking about the seed again, not the harvest this time, but the seed itself and what happens to it in the dark. Because the seed does not wait passively, something is happening inside the waiting. The shell is breaking in the darkness. What was hard is becoming something else. And I wonder if the same is true of me in this season that I cannot fully understand. If something in the waiting is transforming into what I will need when the answer finally lands. What the waiting is doing, I cannot fully see from here. What the waiting is doing is happening in the dark. What the waiting is doing is forming something in me. What the waiting is doing could not be done any other way. Could not be done any other way. Because the answer that arrived too early would have found me less than ready to receive. Would have found me with a faith still surface shallow. That the waiting is making deep, and depth is not something you can hurry, and roots do not grow fast by any means. The tree that holds in the hurricane was planted in a season nobody noticed or could see. What the waiting is doing, I cannot fully see from here. What the waiting is doing is happening in the dark. What the waiting is doing is forming something in me. What the waiting is doing could not be done any other way. Could not be done any other way. waiting is being wasted or forgotten. The patience is becoming something permanent. The trust is going deeper than it ever went before. And the person who emerges from this waiting will be more ready than the person who went in. More ready than before. And Jah, who sees the whole thing from above the timeline, who knows what will be needed when the answer comes, is doing something in the dark that I cannot see clearly, but something in my spirit says it is not nothing. It is not done for nothing. So I will let the waiting do its work inside me. I will not fight the forming with impatience. I will trust that what emerges from this season will be worth everything. The waiting has stopped me. What the waiting is doing, I cannot fully see from here. What the waiting is doing is making me ready. What the waiting is doing is forming what I could not form alone. What the waiting is doing is not wasted. Not wasted. Nothing is wasted. Oh, oh, oh. I do not know the moment that the season turned. I only know that something shifted in the air. The way the light was different in the morning. The way the weight I carried was not quite as there. And then the thing I waited for was present. Not announced with trumpet or with sign, just quietly and completely and inevitably, the harvest arriving in its own appointed time. The harvest comes not when I demanded, but when it was ready. The harvest comes, and the waiting was the ground it needed to grow. The harvest comes, and I am not the same person who started waiting. The harvest comes, and the waiting was not wasted, was never wasted. And I can see it now from where I'm standing. What the waiting was doing in the dark. The roots that went down in the patient tending are what the harvest is standing on. Are what the harvest is. The faith that formed under the sustained pressure is not the faith I brought into this season. And the person who receives this harvest now could not have held it, could not have held it with the hands I had before. The harvest comes not when I demanded, but when it was ready. The harvest comes, and the waiting was the ground it needed to grow. The harvest comes, and I am not the same person who started waiting. The harvest comes, and the waiting was not wasted, was never wasted. And I think of every ancestor who planted and died before the harvest that they answer day. Because nothing they planted in the faithful waiting was lost or unaccounted or forgotten by Jah. The harvest comes across the generation, and what was planted by the faithful always comes to bear. And so I lay this season down with open hand, the waiting season that I thought would never end. And I receive the harvest with the same